What's up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health, fitness, and social well-being. Last video, I took you guys through day 1 through 3 of my current training week as far as what my programming looks like for this prep. So this video, I'm taking you guys through days 4 through 6. So let's get right into it. Right now, you guys are seeing that I'm hitting a top set of 3 on bench. This is my secondary bench day, but with a long pause. And the reason that we're doing this, guys, is in the same way on SSBs, we drop down from top sets of 5 immediately to top sets of 3s to push intensity. We're doing the same thing on my secondary bench day, where we're dropping down from top sets of 5 to top sets of 3. The reason we're adding in the long pause work is, once again, just to really be prepared for the possibility of getting really long holds on the pause for meet prep, as well as it allows me to push intensity on this day but still have a cap in a sense. So that way I'm not pushing so hard on these triples to where it starts to carry over to my preceding bench days afterwards, and thus fatiguing my primary bench day more than what I want it to. After that, we just have normal competition bench for back down sets of 7 based upon percentage drop of that top triple. So everything's feeling really good as far as that. Right here, you guys see that we're doing a 3x12 with a row of choice. Once again, you guys know I'm a big fan of just machine-based chest supported rowing, especially when I'm closer to a meet. As much as I love things like bent over barbell rows and pin lay rows, machine-based rowing just doesn't beat me up as much. Once again, keeping an emphasis on protraction and retraction. Here we've now got feet up dumbbell bench press. Brad gave this to me so that I can focus on just getting, once again, a little bit more protraction, as well as just a longer range of motion, and it's just a fun way of changing things up. That's the thing that Brad has found, that with me, being relatively strong on a lot of accessory movements, changing it out every now and then is just good. Mind you, I don't like to change accessory work out overly frequently, so I usually stick with the same accessory movement for at least 12 weeks so I can just focus on progressing that movement, and then I'll tend to switch things out. But right now, feet up dumbbell bench press is feeling really, really good. After that, we've got cable rear delt flies. You guys know cable rear delt flies is my favorite version of the movement. I like it more than the reverse pec deck. I like it more than dumbbell rear delt flies because you can pretty much put the machine in an alignment with wherever you want to feel is best for you. Like for me, having it start higher up and then pulling downward feels really, really good in my rear delts. For the rest of you, it might be a little bit different position wise, but it's a movement that I strongly recommend to pretty much everybody. Then after that, we've just got some basic tricep rope cable press downs for 3 sets of 12. And yeah, I'm feeling really, really healthy across the board on my accessory movements, guys. Like I said, I like to focus on progressing movement for 12 weeks before I switch it out with something else. But even within that, I like to scale things as needed. Meaning if I push a move for 4 weeks, I'll scale it back into the new block, start a little bit heavier than what I did last block, and progress it from there. Just, basic tips that I taught you guys about in my video over how to periodize your own accessory work, which I'll have the link to that in the description box down below, because it's something that I do feel is very useful and important versus just kind of doing accessory work randomly or not doing enough. Now here, guys, this is day 5, which is my tertiary squat day, my secondary pull day. We just have a simple 6x2 with a set percentage of my 1 rep max, and you guys can see that I'm really focusing on just grooving a really good position, still getting used to the wider stance. The good thing is, even though it's my tertiary squat day and fatigue's higher, I'm still finding that I'm able to hit depth pretty easily and get a good position with this wider stance, which makes it feel that much better on the primary day. You guys can see that I'm getting various different angles, so that way I can make sure that I'm hitting depth from different viewpoints, because I'm not trying to take any risks with that when it comes to the judging. Now right here, guys, you see that we have tempo RDLs for a 3x3. The way it works is I'll have a set RP for the first set, and then I'll have to go up for the second and third. On this day, I believe it was an RP6 for the first set, then RP7 for set 2 and 3. I knew after taking 385 for the first set, even though it felt like an RP6, that it would be closer to an RP7 for the second and third set, so I just kept the weight there. Then after this, we have back down sets, a 2x6 with 347 pounds. I believe it's just a 10% drop from the top set weight that I do for my top 3x3. And it said tempo RDLs, but technically, if I remember correctly, I don't actually have to do tempos for these back downs, just for the heavier 3x3. But either way, it felt really, really good. And once again, you guys know we're still rolling with no back down work on the deadlift on my primary day, and just pushing the RDLs on the secondary day more. And it's been going very, very well. Now these were different. This was goblet belt squats, which I don't believe I've ever done these before. I've done counterbalance belt squats, Zercher belt squats, banded belt squats, but never goblet belt squats. And these hit differently. Like, I definitely feel a challenge as far as not being able to use my hands, and definitely had to keep everything in the quads. Obviously can't go as heavy as what I usually would if I was using my hands, even though when I do normal belt squat, I'm not trying to use my hands to pull myself up. It does help to have something to hold on to. So that was definitely a different challenge. Obviously I can't go that heavy without using my hands, so we make up for that here with the standing leg press machine. And I really, really enjoyed this machine. If you guys have this machine or anything similar to it at your gym, highly recommend doing it, whether you want to do it in place of belt squats on certain days or do it afterwards, because because it feels really, really good. For me, it's like the most comfortable leg press machine that I've done. It feels really comfortable on the back. You get a nice full range of motion, and I don't actually know what it's called. I've been calling it the standing leg press or vertical leg press machine, but it's been feeling great. And those of you who do train at Absolute, who watch these videos, definitely use it if you haven't been. I absolutely love it, and I feel like it's a very underrated movement for some additional leg volume. Now, coming into day number 6, we have close grip bench press with the 2 count pause for every single rep. So start off with a top set of 6 at RP6 with 264 pounds. And this felt really good. It's definitely a different type of variation. I've done close grip before. I've done 2 count pause before, but I've never combined the two. And I got to say, it's definitely good for a pump, just in terms of, one, the longer range of motion because it's close grip, which for me, my comp grip's already relatively close, so I just bring my grip in 2 fingers from my comp grip. But then doing that with the longer pause just really hits the pecs, and once again forces me to really focus on overall good tension and position maintenance. So I'm trying to keep that chest nice and elevated, make sure the bar is not sinking me when I'm holding it on my chest, and still getting a nice good drive. And it's just really helping me to reinforce my technique, and it honestly just makes my normal competition bench day feel that much better, because even though I'm not doing an assigned long pause, you guys know my comp bench day, I'm trying to focus on having a long hold at the top and a nice clean IPF competition pause. So all this long pause work that I'm doing on my other bench days is definitely having good carryover to that. Then after that, guys, we have weighted pull-ups. As I told you guys in my last video, we're not doing weighted pull-ups twice a week right now. On one day, we're doing lat pull-downs, and then on this day, we're doing weighted pull-ups. Starting off with lighter load, just 80 pounds for a 4x6, and I'll be progressing the load as we go. Once again, like I told you guys, you get to a point where you can't just linearly progress certain movements. Like I can't just keep adding weight to my weighted pull-ups endlessly. So when I get to a certain point where it's like, okay, I can no longer push within this set and rep range, whenever we go into the new block and the set and rep range changes, I scale the weight back a little bit, start a little bit heavier than where I finished, than where I started last time, and that way I'll finish heavier than where I finished in the previous block. And that's a nice, easy way of progressing your accessory work without hitting a stall where you can no longer hit the assigned sets and reps. Then after that, guys, we had seated cable rows. Once again, very straightforward movement, and then just normal flat dumbbell press here. So it's been really nice to have like the higher rep feet up dumbbell bench press, and then come in later on this day and have just normal dumbbell bench press at a lower rep range where we can push it a little bit heavier. And it's been feeling really good. My accessories across the board right now all just feel really healthy, not just in the sense of, oh, I'm feeling strong and progressing on these movements, but once again, that technical efficiency. That's something that I preach to all my clients. Hey, treat your accessory work just as serious as the big 3. Make sure your form's on point, make sure you're being true to the RPs that are signed, make sure you are seeing some gradual progression of load from week to week within the block. And as a whole, things have just been feeling really good. I'm being very dialed in with my programming this prep, make sure that I take every day as seriously as possible, and it's definitely paying off for me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk to you guys about. Enjoy the rest of the video.
So when he buried in a tomb full of gold treasure, what's your pleasure? Life is depending how you dress.
Well, I'll be there.
What's up, guys? So you guys can see we're here in Houston at Corrupted Strength. Got a little costume gym session going on. Now, my real costume, which I may or may not show y'all. If y'all follow me on Instagram, you'll see it. But I'll be rocking that tonight. But there's no way I could work out in this, so just went and got me a little mask, which honestly felt totally fine during my warm-ups. But every time I put the mask back on, I would fog it up more. So that top set was a little dangerous, just as far as like I couldn't really see where I had my feet set. My perception was just off as far as depth and like that, but it still moved well. It felt really good. And going back to the video, the stance looked like it was where it needed to be, and the speed was consistent with 452 from last week, which you guys saw in my last video. So all in all, really happy with it. Gonna knock out these back down sets and just see how the day goes.
said, Papa Molly, touch your pot. What? Bitch, throw that ass like a motherfucking bag. Bitch, you know I'm tryna smash. Pop that pussy for this cash. Got a car full of bitches. Yellow, black, white. They gon' rollin' with that stripes. They can't even talk right. Yo, they don't ever dance with niggas. They just only dance with bitches. Keep when you fall them all, so they don't motherfucking dance. What's the Papa world? All these bitches going love. Rockin' down in the leader number in the morning. What's up, TV? You got some bitches, let me see. Head down, ass up. I ain't pussy for a chicken, so hey, hold up, please. But I can't do it on money.
I'm out water, brother. I ain't getting no money, yeah?
Alright guys, so first back down set with 396. Felt really, really good. That is the last set I'm doing the mass. Hitting it for a single is fine. But hitting it for sets of 5, bro, your boy was getting tired. Plus, like I said, just not as, like, it just really throws everything off perception-wise. What's funny is, I did 396 for my 3x5 last week, as you guys may recall, but that's because I just calculated wrong. The 15% of drop off my 452 last week should have been like 385, not 396. So I'm taking the same way as I did last week, which is totally fine, because I still increased the top set. And you guys already know, if you've been channel enough, you can progress off the same workload for 2 to 3 weeks before the biological law of accommodation kicks in and forces you to change the stimulus. So we good. But yeah, no more back down sets in the mass. But what's cool is the 396 this week feels even better and more locked in than last week, which I know is just from already being more used to the wider stance. And everything feels good, man. My hips feel healthy, knees feel fine, everything feels very locked in. So yeah, we're gonna get to these back downs and I'll see you guys on deadlift.
You gotta get right down there.
Seen it go down, we can reenact things. Extreme like DMX thing. These boys pussy, they PMS thing. People in the city see the current. Say my God, I wanna be in that scene. Damn right, wanna be in this scene. Get a video trying to be in this scene. Fantasize about being in this scene. Bluegrass girl, she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I brought a game to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync. What was y'all think? Fuck everything you say about me. My dog's like a play man.
She wants to do it so bad. Y'all literally did it and posted it though.
She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to bust it to the death.
You guys already know we just have an easy 3x4 touch and go bench on this day based upon percentage. I believe today was 67 or 68%. And then deadlifts felt great. I had a singlet RP7 and my setup is the same that it's been the past couple weeks. The only thing I changed was I really emphasized getting my arms even longer. So not just pushing the arms out long, but emphasizing the protraction even more. So that way I can really make sure that I've got, like, you know, pretty much make the deadlift ROM the shortest possible by keeping my arms long. And once I set my hands, then I lock it all in by pushing the hips forward, bringing my shoulders back. That way my lower back feels nice and tight and flat, and upper back still slightly rounded so I can get that good wedge off the floor. And it felt really, really good. That's the best 550 has felt in a few blocks. So I think I'm setting myself up to hit something nice for my singlet 8 next week. But anyway, that's it for today. I will probably see you guys tomorrow, and then that'll be it for the video. So Y'all just saw bench. It went very, very well. Top set with 347 pounds, felt super smooth and locked in. And I just feel so comfortable with holding it at the top, making sure my pauses are clean, up to competition standards. And my back downs with 292 felt easier than my back downs with 286 last week. So everything's in a great spot. Like all 3 lifts were easily in the best spot they've been technically, strength-based wise, as far as being like this far, like, you know, 12, 11 weeks out from a meet, the numbers I'm hitting, like I don't think I've ever hit 347 for a single on week 2 at such a low exertion. Like that felt perfect for the RP7. So I'm really, really happy with how things are progressing. We're about to just knock out our accessory work and get back on the road to head back to the Dallas area. But that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you did. If you're not, leave a comment down below. Let me know what can get better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch you guys later.